If you recently scrolled through your short feed, chances are you saw this. So, let's talk about this meme. Quoting from Know Your Meme, Raccoon dancing in a circle, also known as Raccoon dancing to Pedro, refers to a viral video of a baby raccoon dancing and spinning within a circle format video, most often to EDM remix of the song Pedro by Raffaella Carrà. What you might not know is that Raffaella Carrà was one of the most famous Italian singers, and in fact, Pedro is an Italian song. So today we can take this opportunity to learn some Italian. Let's start with the general meaning of the song. The lyrics describe the adventure of a tourist on holiday in Santa Fe with a young adult named Pedro. Pedro, at first, offers himself as a tourist guide, but he has another goal. In fact, he actually wants to become her lover, and in the end, he succeeds. Now, let's see the lyrics in detail. Passeggio tutta sola per le strade guardando attentamente i monumenti. La classica straniera con un'aria strana che gira stanca tutta la città. I walk the streets all alone, looking carefully, meaning with interest, at the monuments. The classic foreigner with a strange look, meaning that she looks different from the locals, who tirelessly tours the whole city. A un certo punto della passeggiata mi chiama da una parte un ragazzino. Sembrava a prima vista tanto perbenino. Si offre a far da guida per la città. At certain point in the walk, a little boy calls me on the side, or from the side implied of the road. He seems so respectable at first glance. He offers to take me on a tour through the city, meaning to show the city as a tourist guide. A quick note on the side, little boy is not meant to be literal. It implies a young adult still innocent as in sexually inexperienced. Pedro, 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 Pe, praticamente il meglio di Santa Fe. Pedro, 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 Pe, fidati di me. Pedro is repeated 4 times and is supposed to be the name of the guy. The last one is the shortened version of Pedro and it's used to rhyme with fe in the first part and me in the second. Basically, the best of Santa Fe. The name is repeated again with the same formula. Trust me, this has to be meant as what Pedro tells the singer. This is the refrain and it's repeated 2 times in the remix, but only once in the original song. Altro che ragazzino, che per benino. Sapeva molte cose più di me. Mi ha portato tante volte a veder le stelle, ma non ho visto niente di Santa Fe. Anything but a little boy, same nuance as in the beginning, anything but respectable. This hints at the fact that Pedro is actually a bad boy. He knew many more things than me, probably also sexually speaking. He took me many times to see the stars, but I didn't visit any place in Santa Fe. Pedro Pe, praticamente il meglio di Santa Fe. Pedro Pe, fidati di me. The remix used in the meme stops after 6 repetitions of this refrain. However, the original song keeps going. Mi sono innamorata seduta stante di Pedro, Pedro, Pedro di Santa Fe. Mi ha sconvolto le vacanze, ma stregata non faccio che pensare a Pedro Pe. I fell in love right away with Pedro, Pedro, Pedro of Santa Fe. He disrupted my vacation, he bewitched me. In this case, sconvolto means disrupted, but in a positive connotation. Her vacation was disrupted, as in she fell in love instead of visiting the city as a tourist. I can't help but think about Pedro Pe. Pedro Pe, travolta di passione a Santa Fe. Pedro Pe, tornerò da te. This is a variation of the refrain that matches the evolution of the story. Pedro, engulfed in passion in Santa Fe, Pedro, I'll get back to you. Now the vacation is over and she has to leave, but she promises she will return. Come ballava bene sotto le stelle. Praticamente il meglio di Santa Fe. Le ragazze lo mangiavano con lo sguardo, ma lui si concentrava solo con me. He danced so well under the stars, basically the best of Santa Fe. The girls ate him up with their eyes, but he only focused on me. Now she's remembering the moments spent together. Pedro Pe, bellissima avventura di Santa Fe. Pedro Pe, soli io e te. Pedro, beautiful Santa Fe adventure. Pedro, just you and me. Mi sono innamorata seduta stante di Pedro di Santa Fe. Mi ha sconvolto le vacanze, ma stregata non faccio che pensare a Pedro Pe. I fell in love right away with Pedro of Santa Fe. He disrupted my vacation, he bewitched me, I can't help but think of Pedro Pe. She keeps thinking about him even after she left. Pedro Pe, praticamente il meglio di Santa Fe. Pedro Pe, tornerò da te. Pedro, basically the best of Santa Fe. Pedro, I'll get back to you. One last refrain where she promises once again she'll go back to him. And there you have it, the lyrics analysis of Pedro by Raffaella Carrà. Now, let me know in the comments what Italian song you want me to analyze next. Until next time.
Arrivederci.